Samuel, I just got home, and why are all my things packed up in a box? I didn't hear anything about moving. I was in the hospital due to a high-risk pregnancy. Can you explain what's going on?
Chiara, you're the only one moving out.
Wait, what do you mean? Why am I the only one moving?
I decided to keep the apartment for my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend? What are you talking about?
Her name is Caddy, and she's 19 years old.
19? Are you serious? So while I was in the hospital, you were having sleepovers with someone else? She stayed over and now she wants to live here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. She loved the view from this high-rise tower apartment so much after spending time here that she said she wanted to live here.
Wait a minute, you've already arranged for a moving company? When are they coming?
Yeah, I set it up. They should be here soon.
So let me get this straight. You've brought your girlfriend into our home? That is unbelievable.
Hey, don't interrupt me while I'm talking.
You don't get to tell me to be quiet when I'm hearing something I can't just ignore. This is a huge deal for us as a couple.
Just listen to what I'm saying. I'm living here with my girlfriend now. You need to leave immediately. Until you move out, I'm gonna stay in a business hotel.
So this means you're planning to divorce me?
Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to. So please, just go ahead and file for divorce.
You think it's that simple? I am pregnant with your child. I just got out of the hospital after a serious health scare, and you're telling me that you've been cheating on me and now you want me to move out? What is this?
It's not like I wanted to hurt you, but I'd rather live with Caddy than with you. So just hurry up and get out. If you don't leave, Caddy won't be able to move in.
You see me as just a problem to be solved? You think I'm just in the way of your happiness?
Yes, that's right. You're just an obstacle standing in the way of our love.
All right. I see how it is. The obstacle will be out of your way then.
Wait, you're actually agreeing to this?
What do you think I'm supposed to do? You want me to stick around while you're making plans for your new life with someone else?
About the divorce papers, what are you gonna do?
From the sounds of it, you haven't even prepared them. Is that right?
Oh, well, just write your name on them and leave them in the mailbox. I'll fill out my part and submit them to the office. I also need to pick up the marriage certificate with Caddy.
I see. Sounds like you've thought all this through. The movers are here, I guess?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I should let Caddy know right away.
Just so you know, I'm not going to be the one who's left without consequences. You're about to find out just how serious this all is.
Caddy! Starting tomorrow, my wife is officially moving out so we can finally live together in the tower apartment.
Oh, really? Oh, that's amazing!
I made sure to clear out my wife's room completely so it's all ready for you.
Thank you so much. I asked for that room and you made it happen so quickly.
You want me to help you with your packing?
No, that's okay. I'm in the final stages of getting everything sorted. Actually, I might have already canceled my lease on my current apartment, so I'm fully committed to moving.
Wow, that's really fast.
I just can't wait to move into your tower apartment.
Oh, Caddy, you really care about me that much?
Of course, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll show up bright and early tomorrow morning to surprise you.
Sounds great. I guess that means I should take a day off work so I could be there to welcome you.
Wow, you're really going to take a day off just for me? Oh, that's so sweet. Once I arrive, we can have some fun in that amazing room with the stunning view. I can't wait to cuddle up with you there.
Absolutely, I can't wait to see you. I'm really excited about you moving in and all the time we'll get to spend together.
I've been dreaming about this day. The thought of living together, waking up next to you every morning, it's just so perfect.
And I promise to make sure you have everything you need to feel at home. I want you to love living here as much as I do.
I'm sure I will. Just being with you makes me feel so happy. I can already picture us decorating the place together, filling it with our memories.
Exactly. We can create our own little world. Plus, I think the view from the apartment will be a perfect backdrop for our new life together.
Yes, I can't wait to see that view every day. It's going to be our special place.
I'll be counting down the hours until you arrive. It feels like a dream come true.
Me too. Tomorrow's going to be the start of something amazing for us.
I'm so ready for this new chapter in our lives. See you in the morning.
See you soon. I'm counting down the minutes.
You know, living with the person you love and being able to be affectionate all the time is just the best. I've been using up all my remaining paid leave from work just to spend time with Caddy and enjoy being together.
Samuel, you've been off work for 2 whole weeks now.
Well, I properly requested the time off, so what's the big deal?
I suppose that's true, but I was just about to reach out to you.
Oh, what's up?
Have you submitted the divorce papers I sent you? You know, the ones you were supposed to file with the office.
Wait, what?
You remember the letter I included with the divorce papers? It said, please let me know once you've submitted them to the office.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
What do you mean, you haven't submitted them yet?
I got so caught up in being affectionate with Caddy that I completely lost track of it.
What kind of ridiculous excuse is that? Seriously.
Actually, since Caddy moved into the tower apartment, I haven't even stepped outside once. I've been too busy enjoying my time with her.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. After all that pushing to get it done, you've really let it slip your mind? It's just unbelievable.
Well, just come by and pick it up then.
What? You want me to come over right now?
Yeah, I really don't want to be apart from Caddy for even a second right now.
I just got out of the hospital after being in for a high-risk pregnancy, right? You can't just expect me to handle all this. I'm already overwhelmed with the stress from your cheating and the divorce. Now you want me to deal with moving on top of that? Please, don't add any more stress to my plate.
What's the matter? Are you not going to come get it? Because if you don't, you won't be able to get divorced. Are you okay with that?
That's not something you should be saying. You are seriously out of your mind.
So are you coming to get the papers or not?
Oh, wait a second. It doesn't have to be me who picks them up, does it?
I guess it doesn't have to be you.
In that case, there's someone perfect who can go there soon. You can just give the papers to them.
Oh, really? That sounds good. And I just got a message from Caddy asking for our 3rd round of affection today, so I have to go.
Wow, it's like you're completely obsessed. I can't even process how you've turned into this person.
What can I say? It's just been so nice spending time with her that I'm kind of in a daze right now. It's hard to focus on anything else. Hey, Chiara, what's this about alimony and child support? You're seriously asking for alimony from Caddy, too?
You've heard all about it from your lawyer, haven't you?
No matter how much I hear, I can't accept it. I know you're jealous of the love that Caddy and I share, but this is just pathetic.
Oh, come on. The common understanding is that the person who cheated has to pay alimony to the person who was cheated on. And it's also completely reasonable for child support to be paid when a divorce occurs. That's just how it works.
Caddy and I are genuinely in love. At this point, you're the one who's become my cheating partner, so if anyone should be paying alimony, it should be you.
Just so you know, the lawyer is still here.
Yeah, I know. He just went to the restroom and is currently texting me.
Listen, you two seem to be living in some kind of fantasy world, completely unaware of your current situation. I've actually asked the lawyer to explain everything to you in detail until you finally understand.
What?
You're eager to marry your beloved Katie, right? Then you need to settle your responsibilities properly for betraying me. Get this sorted out cleanly and quickly.
But I never thought it would cost this much to get a divorce.
It's ridiculous that you're whining about something that is completely normal when getting divorced.
What do you mean by that?
I'm saying you need to take responsibility for your actions without making a fuss. It's really not that hard to understand.
All I want is to marry Caddy!
You need to accept the reality that you're trying to throw away something that is much more significant than just me.
What do you mean?
What you're trying to throw away isn't just me. You're also trying to abandon our child who is about to be born. That's the lowest thing a father can do, and you should never forget that.
I didn't mean to!
You need to face the truth. Being a father means taking responsibility for your actions, even if it's hard. You're choosing to prioritize your relationship with Katie over your own child and me. That's an awful decision.
But I thought we could figure something out.
Figuring something out means facing the consequences of your actions. You can't just run away from your responsibilities because you've found someone new. It doesn't work that way.
It's just so complicated.
Life is complicated, but that doesn't excuse abandoning your responsibilities. I want you to think deeply about what you're doing. Once you're a parent, your priorities change. You need to understand the weight of your decisions.
I know, but...
No buts. Just think about what it means to be a father and to be a decent human being. Your actions have consequences, and it's time to face them. I've transferred the alimony and child support. You don't need to keep contacting me about it. I've been informed through my lawyer.
Damn it! I ended up borrowing money from my parents because of this!
Your parents told me they apologized for you. They even took money from their hard-earned retirement savings to help you out. On top of that, they had to cover the costs for your cheating partner as well. You better make sure you pay them back.
Well, it's not like I have no means to pay them back, so I guess it's fine. I just thought it would be difficult to gather the money by the payment deadline, so I had no choice but to take out a loan temporarily.
Oh, is that so?
I'm planning to talk to Caddy about this, but I think I'm going to put the tower apartment up for sale.
Wait, what?
Even though it's a used property, the higher floors of the tower should fetch a decent price. If all goes well, I might be able to pay off the debt and even have some left over.
Have you lost your mind?
What do you mean?
That apartment is a rental, you know.
Huh? They have rentals in a tower like that?
Of course they do. Why do you think you've been living there all this time?
I thought you could only buy apartments in a tower. I assumed you bought it, and that since we got married, it would automatically belong to me as your husband.
How could you have such mistaken belief?
Wait, what? Why did I think that?
You always act on your baseless assumptions and unreliable instincts. Anyway, it's a rental. Plus, it's in my name.
What?
You moved into the apartment I was living in before we got married. That means you don't have any right to sell it. And since we're getting a divorce, you can't live there anymore either.
Wait!
Well, you could continue living there if you change the lease into your name.
But by the way, how much is the rent?
It's $5,200 a month.
5,200? That's almost 3 times my monthly income. There's no way I can afford that.
You haven't forgotten that I run a business with my best friend, right? Sure, I'm on maternity leave right now, but I have enough income to cover the rent on my own.
Wait, what? You had a baby?
I should mention that I successfully gave birth 3 days ago.
Oh.
But don't think you'll have any visitation rights. Once the child grows up, don't try to get involved in their life.
Hey, Chiara, we should really reconsider this divorce.
What?
You're leaving me without a place to live.
Well, I canceled the lease on that apartment.
What? Why would you do that? We're not officially divorced yet. You can't just make that decision.
Actually, we are divorced. I intended to submit the divorce papers as soon as I confirmed the transfer of alimony and child support. Now that I have confirmation, my mom went to the office on my behalf to submit the divorce papers.
You just did that?
Yes, I just got the notification that our divorce was finalized about 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago?
So as of now, we are no longer together. There's still a month before the move-out date for the tower apartment, but you have no right to stay there now that we're no longer a couple. You have to leave within 3 days.
What? How can you say that?
I've already explained the situation to the management company. If you don't vacate the premises within 3 days, they will call the police.
The police?
If you understand, then please hurry up and leave.
What am I supposed to tell Caddy?
That's not my problem.
Damn it! Caddy, I can't believe you're just gone when I woke up this morning. That note about breaking up was just a joke, right?
Shut up, you old man.
Wait, what?
I was so excited to finally be living in the tower apartment, but then I find out it's actually in your ex-wife's name. And on top of that, your income is only a third of hers because you're just a temp. How can you not even know that as her husband? Your head is way too empty.
Caddy, you sound like a completely different person.
This is just who I am, after all. You're broke, and you have no place to live, and you don't have enough brains to deal with anything, you loser. I've got nothing to gain from a middle-aged guy who's got absolutely nothing going for him. Just for a brief moment, you should feel grateful that you had any relationship with a young and cute 19-year-old like me. Anyway, see you.
You're not getting away from me. There's no way I'm letting you escape.
Although he sometimes seemed a bit lacking in intelligence, there was something endearing about that. There was indeed a time when I had such thoughts about my ex-husband. I would find myself chuckling at his antics, believing that his innocent blunders added a certain charm to our relationship. At that moment, it was easy to overlook his shortcomings, focusing instead on the warmth he brought to my life. This must be what they call the love filter. It's terrifying to realize how love can distort our perceptions, blinding us to the flaws that ultimately become unbearable. Speaking of terrifying, the aftermath of our relationship unfolded like a nightmare. Just as it is often said that the end of financial support leads to the end of relationships. Samuel was unceremoniously dumped by Katie when the money ran out. It was a classic case of when the well runs dry, so does the love. However, what transpired next was beyond anyone's imagination. Simultaneously with his departure from their luxury apartment, he managed to morph into a stalker. The verbal abuse he unleashed during their breakup was so severe that, ironically, it seemed to ignite a twisted passion in his heart for Katie. It was as if those hateful words fueled his obsession rather than scaring him off. The cruelty of their parting left scars on both of them, but for Samuel, it seemed to morph into an unhealthy fixation on what he had lost. No matter how hard Katie tried to escape from him, Samuel would somehow appear out of nowhere like a ghost from her past. Sometimes he would look at her with a resentful gaze filled with an unspoken bitterness and anger. Other times he would show up with a creepy, overly cheerful grin that sent chills down her spine. His demeanor almost unsettlingly enthusiastic in the midst of his desperation. It was a jarring contrast, making Katie question his mental state even further. Even Katie, who had always been resilient and strong-willed, appeared to be significantly affected by the situation. The relentless nature of Samuel's pursuit seemed to take a toll on her mental state. It was like watching someone being slowly worn down by the relentless waves of an unyielding sea. The pressure just kept building, and she seemed to be reaching her breaking point. The psychological warfare he waged was exhausting, leaving her in a constant state of anxiety. Currently, it seems that both of them are undergoing treatment in separate hospitals, far from one another. It's as if they're each battling their own demons in isolation, perhaps trying to escape the tangled mess of their shared history. There's a cruel irony in their situation, as both are dealing with the consequences of their choices, but in vastly different ways. Each hospital room tells a story of regret, pain, and the desperate search for redemption. In retrospect, the relationship had always been a roller coaster ride. From the beginning, it was marked by highs and lows, laughter and tears. At first glance, they appeared to be the perfect couple, dazzling in their shared experiences and affection. They traveled to exotic locations, shared romantic dinners, and painted a picture of bliss that everyone envied. Yet, as the initial allure faded, the cracks began to show. Samuel's behavior shifted from charming to possessive, and Katie found herself walking on eggshells, unsure of what would set him off. Initially, their shared life in the luxury high-rise was filled with dreams and aspirations. They hosted lavish parties, inviting friends and acquaintances to showcase their successful life. However, the glamour began to dim as financial strains became apparent. Samuel's job was not as stable as he had portrayed, and Katie's once thriving career faced unforeseen setbacks. The glitzy lifestyle they had created began to slip through their fingers like sand, and the cracks in their relationship widened. As the money began to dwindle, so too did the affection between them. It was as if the wealth had acted as a glue, holding their relationship together, and when that glue began to weaken, the underlying issues bubbled to the surface. The tension escalated, culminating in an explosive arguments that would leave them both feeling empty and drained. Each argument chipped away at the foundation of their love, and resentment began to fester. The final straw came one fateful evening. They had been out to dinner, and the conversation took a turn for the worse. What started as a casual discussion about finances quickly escalated into a full-blown shouting match. Harsh words were exchanged, and amidst the chaos, Samuel hurled insults at Katie that were not only cruel but deeply personal. The wounds inflicted during that fight were deep, and they resonated long after the dust had settled. In that moment, something in her snapped. Katie had always been a fierce and independent woman, but in that heated moment, she realized she could no longer endure the emotional torment. She left the restaurant in tears, her heart heavy with the weight of the relationship's demise. Samuel, in his rage, did not follow her immediately, but instead sat there, simmering in his anger, allowing the reality of their situation to sink in. As days turned into weeks, Katie tried to move on. She packed her belongings and found a new place to live, far away from the memories of their life together. Yet no matter how hard she tried, Samuel's shadow loomed over her. He would call, text, and occasionally show up at her new apartment, each time with an increasingly desperate demeanor. The emotional turbulence of their breakup manifested in Samuel's behavior, and it was clear that he was spiraling out of control. For Katie, the freedom she had longed for became a prison of fear. Every noise in the night sent her heart racing, and the once comfortable sanctuary of her new home felt like a trap. The moments she had once enjoyed alone now felt suffocating, and the weight of her past loomed over her like a dark cloud. She had wanted to be free, but the very person she had tried to escape was now haunting her thoughts, turning her world upside down. The cycle of harassment escalated. Samuel's visits became more erratic. Sometimes he would appear with gifts, trying to win her back with grand gestures that only seemed more pathetic. "Look at what I brought you," he would exclaim, holding out an extravagant bouquet of flowers or a fancy dinner reservation, desperately attempting to rekindle the flames of their past. Other times, he would confront her with accusations and fear, his eyes wide with desperation. It was a terrifying juxtaposition, and Katie felt trapped in a horror movie with no way to escape. Katie soon realized that she needed to take drastic measures to protect herself. After consulting with friends and family, she made the difficult decision to seek a restraining order against him. It was a painful step, but it was necessary for her safety. She gathered her strength and recounted her experiences to the authorities, feeling both empowered and terrified. Each recounting of the harassment brought back waves of trauma, but she knew it was a necessary step in reclaiming her life. However, even with the restraining order in place, the fear lingered like a dark shadow. Samuel, feeling cornered and rejected, became more unpredictable. His obsession intensified, and Katie often found herself looking over her shoulder, anxious at every unfamiliar sound. She invested in security measures, installing cameras and an alarm system, but nothing could fully alleviate the sense of dread that followed her. The situation took an even darker turn when she learned that Samuel had been stalking her online. He would create false profiles on social media to follow her, keeping tabs on her every move. It felt like he was invading her life even more, and she was powerless to stop it. Each new alert on her phone sent her heart racing, a reminder that she could never truly escape him. The digital age had made it easier for him to stalk her from the shadows, further complicating her ability to find solace. Eventually, both of them reached a breaking point. The emotional turmoil and the weight of their past began to manifest physically. Katie found herself struggling with anxiety and insomnia, while Samuel's mental health deteriorated to the point where he was hospitalized. The news of his hospitalization reached Katie through mutual friends, a bittersweet piece of information that left her with mixed feelings and nothing more.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
What on earth is going on here? Wandering around during the day again? As your husband's mother, I am appalled. You're a wife, yet you don't even attempt to take care of the household. Every single day, all you do is waste your husband's hard-earned money. To make matters worse, you're already at a disadvantage in terms of first impressions, considering that you are 5 years older than David. Seriously, why don't you take some time to do the housework? Samantha! You're just out there having fun, so you need to respond to my messages immediately. Ignoring the messages from your husband's mother is absolutely unacceptable. Do you understand? I am currently at work, though. What? I've told you countless times, but I'm not a housewife. I have a job. I go out almost every day during the week because I'm going to the office. After I return home, I handle the housework and I take care of the more detailed tasks on my days off. Honestly, it's been 3 months since we started living together, so can't you at least try to remember my job and how I manage my daily life? I've remembered your schedule, which is why I'm cautioning you. Listen, you need to hurry home and do the housework. You have responsibilities as a wife. You need to take them seriously. I have a meeting coming up right now. What? I have preparations to make, so please excuse me. What do you mean you have a meeting? There is absolutely no way you have a meeting when you're not even working. Samantha! This is getting out of hand. Enough already. It's incredibly frustrating to see you neglecting your duties. Do you have any idea how hard David works to support this household? And yet here you are, spending your days frolicking around instead of taking care of the responsibilities that come with being a wife. If you spent even half the time on household chores that you do gallivanting around town, this home would be in much better shape. How can you expect to earn my respect when you won't even acknowledge the importance of your role? It's infuriating. You need to understand that a marriage involves mutual responsibilities, and right now, you're failing miserably in yours. You say you're busy with work, but do you really think that justifies your behavior? You need to prioritize this family and your duties at home. You may be busy, but that's no excuse for neglecting the home you share with my son. We expect you to be a partner, not just someone who's living here without contributing anything meaningful. Can't you see how your actions are affecting everyone around you? You must change your attitude, or I assure you, this will lead to major problems in your marriage. I really hope you reflect on this and take it seriously. We want to see you as a responsible member of this family, not someone who's constantly evading their duties. So please, Samantha, think about how your actions are perceived and what needs to be done moving forward. David, do you have a moment to talk?
Yeah, I'm free now, but what's going on?
You need to seriously consider getting a divorce from that useless wife of yours.
Huh? Mom, what's going on? When you say useless wife, are you really talking about Samantha?
Of course, who else would I be talking about? That woman is out there playing while you're working hard, sweating away to support the family. It's outrageous to think that even now, at this very moment, she's off having fun instead of contributing to the household.
What?
Just earlier today, I sent her a message telling her to hurry home and take care of the housework. Do you want to know what her response was? She said she had a meeting! A meeting! Can you even believe it? There is absolutely no way that a stay-at-home wife could possibly have a meeting.
Well, that's.
Actually, I was just having a serious discussion with your father about our future, and we're planning to implement something important.
Implement something? What do you mean by that?
Now that's a surprise for you. All you have to do is follow our instructions, so don't worry. Oh, and by the way, you might want to consider getting back to work soon. Good luck with that.
Oh, okay. Samantha, I think you're probably busy with work right now, but I'd really appreciate it if you could reply when you get a chance.
David, what's going on? I'm actually free right now. I've adjusted my break schedule a bit to accommodate some work matters, so I can chat.
I see. Thanks for that.
So, what's on your mind?
I'm not completely sure, but it seems like my parents might be plotting something.
Plotting something? What do you mean?
I'm really sorry. I don't have many details at the moment. I heard about it just yesterday. When I tried to get more information from them, they kept insisting that I should just follow their directions without question.
I see.
I apologize for not having more substantial information to share with you. I genuinely tried to get more insights, but I was concerned that if I pushed too hard, they might get suspicious of me and back off.
It's okay. Just having a reason to be cautious is already a big help to me. Thank you for sharing what you could.
I feel so pathetic right now. The situation with my parents moving in happened because I carelessly got caught in a mess. They moved in while I was away and packed up their things, effectively forcing me into this living arrangement without my consent.
I mean, I was shocked when it first happened, and even now I can't fully wrap my head around it, but there were some unavoidable circumstances surrounding it. They had a major argument with my brother-in-law and his wife, and just like that, they were kicked out, ending up on the street with only the clothes on their backs. In that context, I can't really place the blame solely on your parents for stepping in. It was the cold season, and I simply couldn't let them endure that. If I had tried to kick them out and they had gotten sick as a result, I could only imagine how awful I would feel afterward.
However, I really despise that I find myself being manipulated by those who have no understanding of your work or position. It seems like they never had any intention of trying to understand you from the very beginning. And to top it off, I'm currently relying on you financially. I want to be able to stand next to you with confidence as your partner instead of feeling so dependent on you.
David...
I want you to tell me if there's anything I can do to help in this situation.
Yeah, thank you. So if you get any more information later, please keep me posted.
Is that all you're looking for?
For now, we can't make any moves without information, can we? If I had to specify, I'd say I want you to be careful, not to let my parents catch on that you're keeping me informed about their plans. Since you aren't being suspected by your mom and dad, I'm confident you can manage that.
I see. Okay.
In any case, let's take it step by step and do what we can to handle this. All right?
Absolutely. I got it.
David, could you do me a quick favor?
Sure, what do you need?
I need you to go to the A real estate office in front of S station.
Why a real estate office?
Don't worry, I've already made arrangements. If you introduce yourself at the reception, they should be able to assist you right away.
Okay, I understand, but it might take me some time since I need to finish my current tasks first.
That's fine, as long...
Yeah, that was quite the shocker.
I know, right? Originally, my plan was to complete the paperwork just with Dad and then let you know afterward as a surprise. But they told me that any contract-related documents require the person's consent, so I had to inform you.
That makes sense. It's important to avoid any legal issues. If you didn't follow the rules, it could lead to serious trouble.
Oh no, is that true? I'm glad we found out in advance.
By the way, I'll arrange for the moving company for the big day as well.
Oh, really?
I have a friend in the moving business, so I think I can get a good deal.
Well, in that case, should I leave it to you?
Definitely. I've got this covered, so you don't have to worry about a thing.
Thanks, David. Oh, I feel so relieved knowing you're handling it. I knew I could count on you.
Of course. I'll make sure everything goes smoothly.
All right, let's keep everything on track, and if there's anything else you need from me, just let me know.
Absolutely. I'll keep you updated.
Samantha, you should be on your way home by now, right? I'll be arriving soon. Is there something you need? Well, even when you get back, you won't be able to get inside. That's because I've already terminated the lease on that house. What? David took care of all the paperwork for me. What exactly are you trying to say? Samantha, you're going to divorce David. I don't think I need to explain the reasons, but since you're living off him, he has decided to move without you. The son of an elite family doesn't want to be tied down to a lazy wife like you anymore. Huh? A move and a divorce? Did David actually say he wants a divorce? You don't even need to ask that. I can tell. Wow, that's quite impressive. By the way, where are you now? I'm in the car heading to our new place. A friend of David's who runs a moving company is helping us out by providing transportation, in addition to handling the moving of our belongings. I see. That's interesting. Just out of curiosity, do you know where you're headed? Of course! We're heading to the beautiful new house that David rented for us. A beautiful new house, huh? That's great to hear. So does that mean you're returning your husband who earns $1 a day? Huh? $1 a day? Well, if David really wants to divorce me, that's what it implies. Listen, Samantha, please keep your jokes to yourself. There's no way that David, who's an executive at his company, would earn just $1 a day. Don't say something silly like he's unemployed and living on an allowance of just $1. Oh, wow, you are right on target with that one. Huh? David is currently unemployed. What? He left his previous job because it was a pretty tough environment and I had to make him quit for his health. Right now, he's attending a school to obtain a national qualification. He takes his lunch with him and buys a paper bag of vegetable juice that costs less than $1 every day, which I give him at the beginning of the month. Just so you know, this is all by his own choice, so I'm not forcing him to do anything. Samantha, enough with the nonsense! David is an executive who supports us! Actually, that's my role. What? You didn't believe me even when I introduced myself at the time of our marriage, did you? On the contrary, you interpreted it as if David only decided to marry me because he became an executive. I just can't understand how you could think that way. I even told you that if you checked the executive list on the W Company website, you would see my name there, but now it seems like you've never looked at it even once, right? Well, You might have been skeptical at first, but David and I have been in a committed relationship. I supported him through his journey to become an executive, and I made sacrifices for him along the way. You see, it's not easy for anyone to balance work and personal life, especially in such a demanding role. But now it seems that all of that has been disregarded in your eyes, as if my efforts mean nothing. Do you even realize the sacrifices I made for this family? I mean, David and I had to endure challenges that came our way, and we faced adversity together. You should understand that just because he's not working right now doesn't diminish his worth or the contributions he's made to our family. In fact, his decision to pursue a qualification shows his dedication to creating a better future for us. It's hard to believe you think so little of him. It's easy to say those things when you're not the one dealing with the day-to-day struggles. Look, I don't expect you to understand everything, but at least show some respect for his efforts. This isn't just about money, it's about values and support. If David has decided to take a break to better himself, that's commendable. It means he's taking charge of his life and working towards a goal that will ultimately benefit all of us. Honestly, you should be more supportive and encouraging him, rather than belittling his choices. After all, we're all in this together, and family means being there for one another. But instead, you choose to criticize and make judgments without fully understanding the situation. You're quick to jump to conclusions without considering the bigger picture. So, it really was there. You're the executive director of W Company? By the way, my maternal grandfather is the president of the company. Huh? So then, does that mean the living expenses since we started cohabitating weren't actually paid by David? Yes, that's correct. I've been covering all the costs, including those for your unemployed father-in-law and yourself. Wait a minute. So about that luxury apartment rental agreement that I asked David to handle. Regarding that, just before the contract was finalized, he called me in to discuss the situation, and we decided to forego the luxury apartment contract in favor of renting a different apartment. What? A different one? I'm talking about the new place where David and I will be living. What? What are you talking about? David was supposed to move in with us! David is traveling separately in his own car, isn't he? Yes, he should be following us closely. Wait, he's not here? What? We're on the highway! The luxury apartment we were going to contract is supposed to be in the same state! You just realized that now, huh? What is going on here? Right now the vehicle you're in is a black minivan, isn't it? Yes, but... That vehicle belongs to a civil engineering company called Oniwa Group. Oniwa Group? I feel like I've heard of that. Please inform your father-in-law as well. Both of you will be moving into the company housing provided by Oniwa Group. What? Your father-in-law's brother, your brother-in-law, will be living right next door. My brother-in-law? I thought I recognized the name Oniwa Group. It turns out it was your brother-in-law's workplace. He's actually an uncle to David, but I've heard that in his younger days he was quite the wild one. Thanks to the excellent employee training at Oniwa Group, he's transformed from being a rowdy troublemaker known for causing injuries during his antics into a well-respected, charismatic figure who is loved by his subordinates. That's not just charismatic, it's annoying! I can't believe I have to live near someone like that and, on top of it all, work in the same place! But it's a good thing. It's not good! Well, you don't have anywhere else to stay, do you? Isn't it better than wandering the streets unemployed? That's true, but if we cohabitate in your new place... Oh, absolutely not. What? Then I'll be here waiting for David to arrive while I start meditating. Wait! Excuse me. Samantha, wait! David! Hey, respond to me! You're not really heading over to Samantha's place, are you? David! The husband was raised as the only son among two male siblings, a circumstance that inevitably shaped his upbringing in significant ways. He was excessively doted on by his parents, a situation that led him to develop into the kind of good boy who could never defy their wishes or expectations. This environment fostered a sense of obligation within him, creating a long-standing bond with his parents that began to feel more like a curse than a blessing. The expectations they placed upon him were immense, and he felt a constant pressure to maintain the image of the perfect son. This deeply ingrained sense of duty, cultivated over many years, created the sort of emotional bondage that seemed to overshadow every aspect of his life. It wasn't until he encountered me, a representative from a business partner, that he began to see things differently. The reality of his situation was slowly dawning upon him, and our meeting marked a pivotal moment in his life, leading us to where we are now in this complicated yet hopeful journey of self-discovery. After years of living under the suffocating weight of his parents' expectations, David has finally reached a turning point in his life. The moment of liberation that he has longed for has finally arrived. He successfully obtained a national qualification, an achievement that many would consider significant and indicative of a promising future. Since then, he's been diligently working at his new job, a role that not only challenges him, but also empowers him to explore his potential and capabilities in ways he had never imagined. This new chapter in his life marks a shift, not only in his career, but also in his personal growth and development as an individual. However, with the arrival of this new job comes the inevitable challenge of dealing with his in-laws, who are an ever-present source of concern. They embody the kind of overbearing parental figures that can easily undermine one's self-esteem and autonomy. I can vividly recall a recent incident that encapsulated the essence of this issue perfectly. Picture this: a luxury black van, sleek and imposing, pulls up with a sense of urgency and authority. My heart raced as I felt an overwhelming wave of tension sweep over me, an anxiety that was palpable in the air. I felt compelled to confront them, boldly shouting for them to turn back right away. Despite my bravado, a glance around revealed that I was encircled by a group of remarkably strong employees, all of whom seemed to have muscles rippling beneath their shirts, casting an intimidating shadow over me. The sight of these imposing figures surrounding me made my heart drop. My confidence was quickly eroding under their scrutiny, and I felt incredibly vulnerable in that moment. At that moment, reality sank in. The gravity of my predicament was becoming clearer, and my initial bravado began to fade. Instead of feeling empowered by my outburst, I found myself flustered and overwhelmed, almost as if I was caught in a surreal nightmare. The realization of being cornered hit me hard, leading to a flurry of anxious thoughts. I was awash with embarrassment and a sense of defeat, shrinking into myself and letting out a soft sigh of resignation. I felt like I was facing a daunting mountain that seemed insurmountable, with no clear path forward. It took a moment, but it seemed that David and I were both beginning to comprehend the seriousness of our situation. Our precious bravado was fading away, replaced by a sobering understanding of our current circumstances. David's parents, who had always loomed large in his life, were finally making their presence felt in a way that was hard to ignore. Following the confrontation, they seemed to quiet down, and we could only hope that this marked a turning point in their approach. As we transitioned from that tense moment, we ultimately found ourselves entering company housing. The atmosphere was heavy with the weight of what had just transpired, yet there was an undercurrent of hope and resilience that began to bubble to the surface. In this new living arrangement, David was finally able to confront the very issues that had held him captive for so long. It was a time for reflection, growth, and ultimately, transformation. The combination of strict yet loving education that he was now receiving was crucial in helping him break free from the emotional chains that had bound him. It was clear that he was undergoing a transformation, albeit a painful one. He was gradually being molded into a more resilient version of himself, one that could stand tall against the pressures that had previously defined him. The idea of being toughened up was more than just a saying, it was becoming his reality. While he navigated this new chapter, it became evident that he was struggling, often brought to the brink of tears as he faced the harsh realities of life without the protective bubble of his parents. But this struggle was necessary. It was a trial by fire, a way to reshape his character and instill a sense of determination that had been lacking for so long. Each day was a test of his resolve, pushing him to dig deep and find the inner strength he never knew he had. It was a daunting challenge, but one that was essential for his personal growth. I could see the changes in him, not just in his demeanor, but also in the way he approached challenges. The man who once cowered in the shadow of his parents was slowly emerging from that shell, albeit with great effort. The journey was far from easy, but with every hurdle he faced, David was becoming a more complete person, someone who could finally start to carve out his own identity and separate from his family. The education he was receiving was strict, designed to instill discipline and a sense of accountability. Yet there was an undeniable element of love woven through it all. It was this blend of rigor and affection that would eventually help him break free from the emotional chains that had bound him for years. The concept of tough love became a guiding principle in his transformation. David was learning that while it was important to have love and support, it was equally vital to understand the value of hard work and perseverance. As he began to embrace this newfound philosophy, I could sense a shift in his confidence. The once timid man was starting to stand a little taller, his shoulders squaring as he faced the world. No longer was he just the boy who did everything his parents wanted. He was becoming a man capable of making his own decisions and asserting his own will. With each passing day, he was building a foundation for a life that he could truly call his own. While the journey was still ongoing, I was optimistic about where it would lead him. David had already shown tremendous strength in his pursuit of independence, and I believed he would continue to do so. With the support of those around him and the gradual shedding of his old self, he would ultimately emerge as the man he was meant to be. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Good morning, Rosa Morgan. Who are you again? This is Whitney Page. I work at A Corporations, the company you're going to be joining. We exchanged phone numbers when you were accepted into the company. Do you remember? Oh, I remember you. You were that woman, right? I was assigned to teach you everything you need to know about the company and your job as a member of the department responsible for training new employees. I hope we can get along together starting today. Oh, okay. And what do you want from me? Today's supposed to be your first day of work. Where are you right now? You're already late as it is. The welcoming ceremony has already finished. Yeah. I can't come in today because I need to take care of something else. Huh? You're just going to skip work like that? I told you that I wouldn't come in, so it should be fine, right? Doesn't this mean that you were planning on just not coming to work without telling anyone if I hadn't contacted you? It's no big deal. I'm only going to be absent for 1 day. Miss Morgan, it's a rule of the company that you need to tell the supervisor if you're going to be absent. What? A rule? We need you to follow the rules if you're going to work here. Do you recognize my last name or not? My father is the CEO of this company. Yes, and what about it? Just because you're the CEO's daughter doesn't mean you deserve special treatment. We're going to have you undergo training just like the rest of the new employees, and we're going to have to warn you just like everyone else when we have to. I don't have anything to learn from an old hag like you. Well, I guess it's true that I'm older than you, who's 22 and just graduated from university, but that also means that I have more experience in society than you. Is that so? Anyways, you can't just not go to work for no reason. Please come to the office. I told you already that I'm going to take a day off today. Is it something so urgent that you couldn't attend the welcome ceremony? I'm going shopping at the mall with my boyfriend. What? Oh, don't bother telling my father or something. Never mind, I'm going to tell him myself that you scolded me. You're going to regret rebelling against me, the daughter of the CEO, when you're just some low-ranking employee.
Whitney!
Good morning, President Morgan.
Is it true that you scolded my daughter? You know I'm the CEO, right? Come to my office right away!
Alright, understood.
Hey, Whitney! It seems you left work early. Didn't you scold my daughter for not coming to work? And here you are ignoring your work and going home yourself!
I already submitted the form saying I was going to leave work early. I'm leaving work early to go to the doctor.
What, the doctor?
The inside of my mouth started bleeding when you punched me in the face. It also started swelling in the cheek, so I decided to go to the doctor.
Stop making such a big deal out of this! You're the one in the wrong for scolding my daughter in the first place! I only gave the proper punishment to one of my employees as the head of this company!
But wasn't I called to the office and punched in the face for scolding your daughter? After all I did was caution her for going absent without any reason?
Just who do you think you are? Rosa is the CEO of this company's only daughter.
Being absent without any prior notice is against the company rules. Your daughter is also an employee of this company starting today, so I only thought that it was my duty to warn her as the one responsible for her training. Also, giving Rosa special treatment is unfair, no matter how you look at it, and risks hurting the image of your company.
Who do you think you are talking so high and mighty like that? You're just a member of the training division. And not only is Rosa my daughter, but she's going to be the next CEO of this company.
The next CEO? Surely that hasn't been decided yet.
It's been decided by me, the current CEO of this company, which means that you're in no position to rebel against Rosa.
I'm not rebelling against Rosa. I'm just saying that she needs to do work just like the rest of us.
Anyways, you verbally abused Rosa, the daughter of the current CEO and also the next CEO of this company after me. You make a big deal even though all she did was not come to work without prior notice. For that, you're fired.
I see. I'm going to talk to my father about this incident.
Your father? Huh? And what use is that gonna be of? What's the father of a low-ranking employee like you gonna do?
Hi, Miss Page. I heard you were fired by my dad. I told you you would regret it. This is what happens when a low-ranking employee like you rebels against the CEO's daughter. This is valuable life experience for you, isn't it? Don't even try thinking of rebelling against me starting from tomorrow, alright?
Rosa, just what is the meaning of this? You were the daughter of one of the heads of our parent company?
Yes, that's true. Did you receive word from my father?
He came to see me himself. I wondered what the hell was going on when he told me that you were his daughter. I couldn't tell because your last names are different.
My parents divorced when I was in high school, and ever since I've been using my mother's last name. Even though my parents divorced, I meet my father regularly, so our relationship as father and daughter is fine.
Why did you hide something as important as this?
I wasn't really hiding it. I just didn't think I needed to tell everyone about it. I took the entrance examination for this company fair and square and was hired by my own merits.
Wait, I'm getting distracted. There's something much more important. At this rate, I'm going to lose my position as a CEO. That's why I contacted you in the first place.
Is that so?
Rosa, can you pretend like nothing ever happened?
Pretend like nothing ever happened?
That's right, I'll forget that you verbally abused my daughter, and I'll apologize for punching you in the face. Actually, no, I won't just apologize. I'll let you be my secretary, And I'll even double your salary. What do you say? That's a good deal, right?
And I was wondering what you were going to say.
What is it? You're not satisfied with just doubling your salary? Fine, I'll triple it. If that's not enough, I know, I'll let you marry me. I've already divorced my former wife, so I can marry you whenever you want. And marrying the daughter of one of the heads of our parent company will also ensure that I'm going to climb the corporate ladder in the future. So it's a win-win. This is a wonderful proposition that benefits both of us, don't you think?
I think you're forgetting something important. Do you really think that you can retain your current position after just having punched someone in the face for no good reason?
Huh? But don't you understand? I just made a proposition that will fix all of that.
You mean make me your secretary and also your wife?
Yes, exactly. I think this is a lucrative deal for you as well, am I wrong?
Actually, I'm quite disgusted by the idea.
What?
We've already decided what to do with you. I'm going to file a police report on you for punching me in the face. That's what I've decided.
Hold on!
I already have the certificate of diagnosis from the doctor.
But you don't have any proof that I'm the one who did it.
There are eyewitnesses.
Huh?
You completely didn't notice that when I entered your office, I left the door half open.
Huh? And what if you did?
When you called me to your office, I had one of my colleagues follow me and wait outside and secretly observe our conversation.
What?
That's what happened. I hope you understand now that I have everything I need to file a police report on you. Goodbye then.
Miss Page! You were the daughter of the head of our parent company? That's so unfair. You never said anything about it. The only reason my dad punched you was because you scolded me. It's your fault for verbally abusing me. It's so unfair. You're the one who's wrong, but you just used your father's position to turn the tables on us. But since I'm so kind, I'll forgive you. If you forgive my father in turn, then I'll let you be my secretary when I become the CEO of this company. What do you say? This is a wonderful deal, right?
I think you should go to bed first, because what you're saying sounds like something one would say in their sleep.
Huh?
Miss Morgan, it seems like you've made quite a few misunderstandings. While it's true that I relied on my father to take care of this incident, it doesn't change the fact that your father punched me in the face after all I did was caution you for taking leave without notice. I even had to go to the doctor because of it. Don't you think that it's natural to ask your parents for help in such a situation?
Well, I guess that's true.
It just so happens that the victim's father was one of the heads of this company's parent company, and that your father, the assailant, was the company's CEO. Because of this coincidence, the leaders of the parent company are now asking themselves whether they can let someone who just punches other people in the face for no good reason in charge of a company. Not only is your father's capability of running a company being put into question, but so is his integrity as a human being.
Does that mean that my dad might not be the CEO anymore?
Yes, it does mean that.
But that also means that I won't be the CEO of this company either.
The next CEO of this company wasn't decided to be you in the first place.
What?
Your father. During the first year he was in office as CEO, things ran smoothly in the company, even if there weren't exactly any major achievements. But the moment the daughter he loved so much joined the company, he became, well, like that. You could even say he became a different person. I still don't understand what makes people undergo such massive changes.
I don't care about all of that. I want you to cooperate in making sure my dad doesn't lose his position as the CEO of this company. If you're the daughter of the head of the parent company, then something like that should be easy for you. Right?
After all this, you still don't understand the situation your father is in.
What do you mean by that?
I'll tell you this one more time. I think you should go to bed, because what you're saying sounds like something one would say in their sleep.
Huh?
Well then, goodbye. After that, I turned in the police report on Mr. Morgan. I didn't bother with an out-of-court settlement since he didn't seem to show any remorse for his actions. I made him pay an alimony after making sure this offense was filed on his record. I heard rumors that he was forced to go into debt because of this. After the incident, of course, his daughter Rosa lost her position in the company as the daughter of the CEO and was now just a new employee. Worse than that, everyone knew about how she didn't come to work on her first day for no good reason, and how her father was the former CEO with a criminal record. She was basically forced to quit because of all of this. She started working multiple part-time jobs from day to night to support both herself and her father, who could no longer find any job of his own. But one day the two of them just disappeared, and apparently no one knows where they are now.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.